next one is the Pro, and this has all the features, and we'll spend a little time talking about this. On this, it has a two playing surface side, so it's got the bass. This is just like a tom. It's kind of meant to be a cross between a djembe and a regular cajon. So this side kind of has the djembe sound to it, which is mostly like a big bass drum sound, top being more like a bongo sound. And then you can also use your heel to tighten up on it and get different tones out of it. Same with this side, which is the snare side. And so you can kind of get that snare drum, marching drum snare sound out of it, kind of thing. That kind of thing. It really has a really nice tone to it, so you can kind of get the rock drum, more of a contemporary sound by playing a bass. So you got the two sides to play without flipping any switches, without doing anything in particular. To change that, you've got all that expression available on the fly, so you don't have to try to change things or flip switches. However, you can, with this little knob right over here, you push in and turn it back, and now your snare is off. So this particular side is tuned a little bit higher than this side. You can kind of hear it. A little higher, a little lower. And that's simply so you have more expression in terms of the way a bongo might sound, or the way you got kind of a dual djembe kind of sound if you wanted to get that. All you have to do is to turn the snare back on, is kind of push in, pull back, and there's a little spring in there, pushes it back into place, and now you got your snare back. So that's kind of the features on the front, the normal playing part of the cajon. The back is really what sets this cajon apart from so many others. It has a 4-band EQ system, which also has a metronome in it. You can hear that through a small speaker inside the preamp itself, or when you plug it in, you can actually hear it through your speaker system. It has a small volume control on the bottom, and you can kind of change that if you want more or less volume. Also has lights that come on and flash, so you kind of get your beats. You can set 4/4 time, 3/4 time, 2/4 time, that kind of thing. And you can also increase and decrease the speed of the metronome kind of on the fly pretty easily. So that's kind of nice, a nice feature for practicing, as well as kind of a nice feature for a band that's trying to use a click track in the background or practice to a particular tempo and keep the tempo steady. Or if the drummer is simply trying to remember what 93 beats a minute is, you can kind of click that up really quick, keep the volume down, just kind of look at it and get that in your head, so that when you go to do the song, you're starting the song right on time, and you kind of have a really good idea of where the timing should be. So it's kind of a helpful feature for a percussionist to have a metronome handy. Also has a tuner in it, and it's actually possible in a pinch. You can play your acoustic guitar up near the back of the cajon, and it will actually vibrate enough that you can tune your guitar with the MeZuZah. So it's kind of a handy just-in-case type feature. Also on the back, and this is something that's very unique to most cajons. In fact, I have yet to see one that has both a 1/4-inch jack as well as an XLR jack. So pretty much able to plug into any sound system anywhere on the fly if you're on the road, if you're trying to do something on stage, or even on a small concert with some kind of amplification. You can plug in, you're ready to go. Just pick up this cajon, and as long as you got a cable to plug into, you're ready to go. You can amplify it or do whatever you need to. The EQ system, a lot of people have asked me, why put an EQ system in a cajon? I've found it really handy to have this available when I'm amplifying the cajon through a sound system. If I'm in a particular room where this particular cajon puts off a lot of resonance in all frequencies, so it's nice to be able to pull one of those frequencies out if it happens to be confused with your vocals or your guitar or a bass guitar, that kind of thing, some other instrument in the group. You can really polish up and sharpen up and really brighten up the room, depending on how the room is built. You might be in a really reflective room that has a lot of resonance and has a lot of other frequencies kind of muddling things up. You can pull that frequency out a little bit, and now it really clarifies the vocals, or really clarifies your instrument. So it's nice to have that feature available to be able to adjust for the room in terms of getting a really good sound out of it. So that's one of the kind of most unique features about this particular cajon compared to many of the others. A typical 4-inch hole in the back is what it has, and it does come with rubber feet on the bottom, so you have the ability to, it grips pretty well, it's hard to slip off. I've noticed a lot of times when I'm leaning back playing it, it actually will lean back and rest on this part, and which is kind of nice, even on a solid wooden floor. I like to tip that up just to get that much more sound projecting out from the bottom, and and it actually works really, really well because it kind of sets back and just kind of sits in that position when I'm setting on it. So regardless of how I'm sitting on there, it's pretty well balanced and pretty well set up, so it's not easy to slip around or bang around. So very stable, very secure. The MeZuZah PRO.